Good afternoon. Can you guys all hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
One that's
Just,
scrolling.
let's see. I'm just waiting for one more. Which one's scrolling?
That one?
Oh, the screen. That's okay. And you can all see our presentation, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. 2 minutes. Okay, what time is it?
It's 12:59.
Perfect. We'll just wait for one more minute and then we'll get started. Thank you guys for being here.
It's 1 o'clock. Now it's 1 o'clock.
Now it's 1 o'clock. Okay. All right, we have our phones on mute. Just to give everyone a heads up, we're going to mute you just so you can hear everything and there's no feedback. And then at the end, we will have a Q&A where we'll unmute everybody and we can take turns asking questions. So we're going to mute everybody right now. I don't think she's...
Is that the one that's scrolling still?
No, that's Bonnie.
Karen, can you hear us? If you are, we cannot hear you, which is okay as long as you can hear us for the time being, of course.
There's also a chat button, Karen, if you want to send us a chat to confirm.
You sent her a note. Just say, can you hear us?
I can't reach. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Karen. Okay, are we all set?
Yeah.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for taking the time today. I'm Kelly Bradley, part of the Westchester Fairfield Hudson Valley One Walk team, and these are my colleagues and fellow One Walk coaches, Susan Hoff,
Hi.
Our Hudson Valley Walk Manager, and Daryl Woolsey, our Walk Director. And just so you're all aware, to keep things brief, we'll be aiming for about 30 minutes of your time. But if you do need to hop off at any point, you're welcome to do so, obviously. So within our chapter, we have 3 One Walk events every fall. Hudson Valley, which will take place on September 29th at the Hudson Valley Sports Dome in Milton, New York. Fairfield taking place on October 20th at Brian McMahon High School in Norwalk, Connecticut. And Westchester, which will be on October 27th at the Empire City Casino by MGM Resorts in Yonkers, New York. We strive to help all of our walkers reach our goals in order to raise money so we can get to a world without type 1 diabetes. You may have already received a call from one of us and or a few emails. So we wanted to take this opportunity to let you put a face to the names on your voicemail and email messages. Becoming a team captain may seem a little overwhelming, so we're just here to help shed some light on how you can be successful and put the fun back in fundraising. We've also put a Q&A session at the end, so if you have any questions, please write them down or save them for later, and then you can send them to us in the chat, and we'll respond to those later. Okay. With that being said, on our agenda today, first we will be talking about what it means to be a team captain. Part 2, we'll go into how to get your team registered. Part 3, we'll go into the Participant Center and how you can use this very important tool in your fundraising. Then Part 4 revolves around leading your team. And finally, we'll have our Q&A. So let's start with the basics. What is a team captain? In order to get a better idea, we've put together some key points that define your role as a leader of your team. You can recruit team members to walk with you by sharing your story, getting family and friends and coworkers involved. You'll also be able to set goals, and we suggest that you start with something manageable as a team, and then you can increase your goal when you reach it. To get to your goals, you'll need to make a fundraising plan. Schedule times to fundraise where you can focus on your team. We always encourage you to use all the tips and tools that JDRF provides, which we will go into a little later with more detail. And finally, don't be afraid to get creative by thinking of fresh ideas to raise money. While you fundraise, it is imperative that you are able to coach and also motivate your team. You can do this by holding meetings with members. You can also give your team the tools that we give you and share those tools. So all of these are very important, but one of the most important things to remember about fundraising is the number one reason people donate is because they were asked. I'd like to now hand it over to Daryl, who will talk more about the registration process. Daryl?
Great. Thank you, Kelly, and welcome everybody on the call today. So the first step in joining us for our walk is to register your walk team by going to walk.jdrf.org. Find the walk closest to you and click on that page. Once you're there, you'll see information about the walk and a button to register. All you need to do is click register and you will then be taken to the registration page. Here you will have an option to create a new team. As a team captain, you can create a team from scratch, or you can recreate your team from a previous year. Let's say you're a new team captain and you want to start a new team. Click create a new team. You'll have a team name. You'll set a fundraising goal for the team. Identify what type of team you're going to start, whether it's a family team, a school team, or a corporate team. Then you'll set a goal for the team. And then great thing to do is jumpstart your fundraising. Take the first step in reaching your goal by making a donation at that time. And finally, identify what participation type you will be. Will you be walking with us or will you be a virtual walker? Click virtual walker if you're unable to join us on walk day. You will receive an email once you have completed your registration. Here you continue with your name, your address, etc. And then you can identify your connection to T1D, your email preferences if you're interested in learning more about advocacy, planned giving, or volunteering with JDRF. And finally, you'll have a review. If you'd like to register a child, it is now that you can do that by clicking register your child. You can use the same email address, but this has to be done for anybody that's under the age of 16. And finally, you can click submit. It's at this point where you will receive an email that says thank you for starting your team, and then you will receive a call from one of our staff. Now I'm going to pass it on to Susan to talk to you a little bit about the Participant Center.
Thanks, Daryl.
Oh,
It's okay. Hi.
Recreating a team. Recreating a team first.
Oh, we skipped one?
Let's see. So you can also get started if you have your team members who haven't registered yet for your team. This is a way that you can join an already formed team. So we have the steps here that are a little different but very similar. So do you want to explain how we go through the recreating, or do you want to just do the join?
You can go ahead.
Okay. So joining a team, you'll see when you originally sign up to register or create your team, there's also options to recreate a past team, or you can join a team. Join a team will be great for all your team members to click this to register for your team. Once they click on that button, they will be brought to our sign up page, or if they've previously walked with us, they can log in with their credentials that they originally signed up with us for. But if they have not if they've not signed up with us, they would have to fill out this information, just their first name, their last name, and their email. There's also a button to log in at the bottom if they did have, if they've already walked with us once. So they can use those credentials if they click the login button. And then they'll be brought to the next page, which is where they can search for your team. As you can see, the team name over here in the search bar is Kelly's Walkers. And then it'll populate at the bottom. Sometimes we have teams with similar names, so you just want to make sure you click the correct one. And you can check by the team captain name as well. And then there is a join button, so they will click that. And it'll be very similar to before, where you set a personal goal. They'll set a goal for themselves. Even though you've already created a team goal, everyone can set their own personal goal that they want to contribute. Then you can also jumpstart your fundraising by making your own donation. And also let us know if you're going to walk on walk day or if you'll be a virtual walker. The rest of the steps are exactly the same as if you were registering to create a team or not, or as an individual as well. And then once again, just let us know that their connection to type 1 as well as their preferences for email. And then at the end, again, you can also register a child with this button here. And then you click submit and we will send you a confirmation email. If someone joins your team, please note that we will not receive an email letting us know that they've joined your team. You will receive an email. So that is a little different. So if you want to share with us, you can, but we can also see your team on the back end as well. So that is pretty much the rest of registration process. All right, Susan?
Sure. Hi. So the Participant Center, it is your main source while you prepare for the walk day. There are many helpful items here. Oops, did I go too fast?
No, you're good.
To be sure, look through each tab and learn how to use them on your own. This current view shows that what your center will look like when you log in each time. Please note that the My Page tab will look the same as this page. With the Participant Center, should be moving. There we go. With the Participant Center, you will be able to personalize your page, track your progress, spread the word by sharing your page and sending emails, and lastly, utilize the tips and tools provided by JDRF. One of the best ways to generate interest and raise money is to personalize your page. It's important to let people see who they're donating to. By adding a picture, you can start to build your story. In addition to a picture, you can also include a few paragraphs about why you started your team, whether it's about when you or a loved one were diagnosed, or just about the daily lifestyle for someone with T1D. The people who support you will get a better idea of why we need a cure and what it means to you. The Participant Center is very useful when it comes to getting a snapshot of your progress. Using the Overview tab will give you information about how much money you've raised so far, how close you are to your goal, and how many days are left before the walk, as well as donor history. This is also a great way to share your personal progress on social media and add checks and cash donations that have been given to you as well, and edit your goal. You can switch the view to see your team's progress as a whole and look at all the donations made to the team. This view is also useful to send a message to your team and invite new potential team members. So I'd like to give it over now to Kelly.
Okay. Thank you, Susan. So sharing your team page is an important part of spreading the word, and the Participant Center makes that easy on the team page tab. Here you can use many forms of social media to share the link, and this tab is also where you will go to make further edits to your team page. There's a button here that you can click. And you'll see below we have our Twitter, email, Facebook, and LinkedIn buttons that you can share through those social media pages as well. By clicking the Event tab, you can see details about the day of the walk, including a list of other teams and participants. And this is also where you can get a look at how much the overall event has raised so far. So if you look on the right side of the page, that's what the event page tab will look like. The email tab gives you access to a wide range of templates that you can use to reach potential donors. The best part is that you can choose a template and tweak them depending on the type of recipient you are trying to reach. You can even save your drafts and look at past emails that you've sent to keep track of communication. Another feature of the email tab is uploading your contacts. You can manually enter new ones or import a list, which makes it super easy to track how many times your contacts have viewed your page, made a donation, or even opened an email from you. You will also have the ability to create and manage different groups of contacts if you want to send a message to a select group of people, such as coworkers or immediate family only or friends. So now Daryl will tell you more about our tips and tools.
And last but not least, in the Participant Center is the Tips and Tools category. All the resources that you may need to help you fundraise are located here, such as letter templates, fundraising ideas, guides, flyer templates, and more. Below the links, also in tips and tools that you'll see here, are shareable graphics that you can share on the various social media websites that Kelly mentioned earlier. You can download them and use them for social media posts. If there are any other tools that you need that you cannot find on here, please don't hesitate to reach out to us and we will gladly provide them to you. For those who have a Facebook account, we have a great and very easy way to make fundraising simple and efficient. Every person who registers to walk will have a Facebook fundraiser button in their participant center, as you see highlighted here. All you need to do is follow the steps by clicking the link to connect your Facebook, and then you'll have a widget on your Facebook page that allows people to donate to your team by clicking the link. That's it. Please do keep in mind that in order to receive credit immediately to your walk team, you must use the link through your participant center to set up your Facebook fundraiser. If you go through Facebook to create a fundraiser, we'll still be able to credit your team with the funds that are raised. It just will take a little bit longer to do so. This year, JDRF has also launched an app for their fundraising, which is really, really great. It's a tool that will make your experience much easier from a mobile device. Simply download the app, follow the steps to register, and start fundraising. As you can see here, many of the tools that are available in the Participant Center are also available on the app. Now I'm going to pass it back to Kelly. Talk about leading your team.
Thanks, Daryl. So here are some important steps to take when leading your team. Before you can lead your team, you need to have one. So invite people to join you. Think about the people who are closest to you, who care about you or your loved one with type 1, and then make a plan to how to reach out to them. You can also send an email or even post on social media. And now you may be wondering, who do I ask to join me? So some examples are family, friends, some neighbors, roommates, classmates, coworkers. And if your company wants to support you further, you can talk to them about making your team a corporate team, or they can also become a walk sponsor. A lot of companies love these opportunities, and it's a fun way to give back with your colleagues. Talk to Susan or Daryl for more information about corporate teams and sponsorship. Teachers will also be a great resource as well. Sometimes they have bake sales or other events at your school that you can also participate and do fundraising at. So they're a great option as well. And last but not least, which might be a little strange, but a doctor or dentist. If your doctor works with patients who have type 1, they may also be interested in participating or even making a generous donation to your team. So once you have a team put together, you should then schedule some team meetings and calls. Check in with each team member or even plan a team gathering where you can meet to discuss progress and brainstorm together. Encouraging your team is important by sharing tools and also attending the One Walk Kickoff. We just had one in Hudson Valley for Hudson Valley Walk, but there's another kickoff on Saturday, September 7th at Rye Playland coming up. This is a great opportunity to connect with other families and supporters of JDRF, as well as hear from other teams about their experience with the walk. If you have any questions about this event, you can contact any one of us and we can give you some more information. There are also many ways to reach your goals, such as reaching out to your network, social media, taking advantage of your company matching, and becoming a V1P. All of these can make a huge difference in your fundraising efforts, but remember to make the experience fun and keep communicating with your team. And now we'll go over more details about how to reach those goals. Susan? Oh. There you go.
Thanks. Hi. So, there are many rewards involved depending on the amount that you raise. I'll go into these in a second, but you can also choose to opt out of these rewards if you choose to do so. Something else to keep in mind is that companies can match your donation and easily double, triple, or quadruple all of your fundraising. See the link at the bottom of the page that is circled to find out whether your company participates, and then follow the steps to get them on board. So as I mentioned, you can receive many rewards for all of your hard work fundraising. Every walker who has raised $1,000 or more becomes a V1P. Perks of being a V1P include, but are not limited to, pride of being an amazing fundraiser for a cure, special recognition lanyard, and a special reception at the walk for the V1Ps. And now I'd like to have Daryl talk a little bit more about other rewards.
Thanks. So rewards aren't just for V1Ps. Rewards can start at $100. Each walker who raises $100 or more will receive a t-shirt on walk day. And any walker that raises $250 or more can win even more prizes in addition to getting a t-shirt. Our walks also have plenty of contests and incentive prizes leading up to the walk. They happen quickly, so be sure to check your email for any that pop up. Some of these prizes can include a little gift from JDRF or even a chance to cut the starting ribbon at the walk. The opportunities are endless. And so now we'd like to open it up to you. If you have a question about anything we've gone over or anything we haven't, please send us a message through the chat or raise your hand with the icon, and we'll be sure to answer your questions as they come in.
Let's see.
Anybody
wanna
have any questions?
Unmute Bonnie and call in user too.
A way that works very well. Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Okay, we've unmuted you so you can pipe in, but we just got a message from Karen Janos. Let's see. Oh, hold on one second. Oh, okay. All right, first question is, has anyone found a way that worked very well to motivate team members to fundraise? Okay, does anyone have any?
So I think that, hi Karen, I think that by explaining why you're walking and why Sam is walking and why it's important to both of you and your family, that will hopefully encourage people to fundraise. We give you the tools that we've just mentioned to make it easy, because this should be easy for everybody. So if you ask people to join your team, maybe you can say to them, we'd love for you to join our team. We'd love for you to do X, Y, and Z. As Kelly mentioned, having scheduled calls with your team or coffee with your team and explaining what your goals are. So if it's a financial goal, great. If it's trying to gather a certain number of people to come with you on walk day, great. It's hard for people who have never done this to make an ask for money, but I always tell people that you're not asking for money to go to Disney. You're asking money that will support research to find a cure for T1D. And so our goal is to really motivate them to be comfortable asking for money. If they're not comfortable having a conversation with somebody, they can send an email through their participant center. And what's great about that is that the templates that are already written in the participant center are very, very easy to use. You simply click on the compose, and then you'll see that there's a list of templates, whether you're fundraising for a child, for an adult, for yourself, or for somebody else. So there are really, really easy ways to do that if somebody's not comfortable doing it in person. Does that help a little bit?
Yes, thanks.
Great.
Thank you. There's also our Facebook fundraiser, like we mentioned before, it helps make it a little less daunting, I think, than going to somebody and asking them for a donation. And it's always on your page, which is wonderful because your friends and family might not even know about the walk and they might see it and then start asking. And that's kind of a great segue into seeing if they'd be interested in giving something to the walk team. And then also one thing that I think people don't always know is that when someone donates to your Facebook fundraiser, one of their friends, even if they're not friends with you, can see that depending on their settings on their Facebook. So, for instance, if Daryl had a friend donate to her fundraiser, and I didn't know that friend, or Daryl didn't know the friend of her friend, she could still technically donate even if she doesn't even know Daryl. But she could have a connection to Type 1 that we, would never have known about. So
Right.
it's a great way that's not as invasive, I think, that we can suggest, I think, for now.
And if you like, I mean, you could also have come up with incentives for your team. I mean, if they've established goals, come up with a prize that they can win. Whoever reaches a certain amount by a certain time. Be creative and just have a good time. Some people have kickoff parties. One of our longtime walkers had a kickoff party at the Hudson Valley Renegades game. She bought tickets for everyone and had everyone come, and that was just kind of a fun way for everyone to get together and to kind of talk about what their plans are for the walk. So that's just one of the ways people do to get to motivate their teams.
We hope those are helpful ideas for you guys.
I think I saw another question about T-shirts. How I was wondering about how T-shirts and how to go about getting a company to sponsor you. That's coming from Bonnie. I think if you know of someone who owns a business that you feel might get some value out of being advertised, you can approach them saying, look, I've got this one walk team. I will put your logo on a T-shirt if you would like to underwrite the cost of these T-shirts. You can present them with the design that you have in mind. That's also just a great way so that they can see, what type of T-shirt that you're looking to have. Just let them know. I think just as what Daryl was sharing about, why you're doing it. Let them know why you're doing it, that you're raising money for T1D research. But if you have any other further questions about it, you can definitely email myself or Daryl, and we will, we can talk to you about some other ideas on how to make that happen.
And if you need ideas for logos too, or you need any graphics that you can't find in your participant center or are having trouble finding, you can also email us and we can get them for you. That should help.
Are there any other questions? Make sure I didn't miss anybody here.
Beth's on. Oh, let's see. Going to see.
Hi, Beth.
Suzanne, do you have any questions? I think you were muted, so I don't know if you had any questions or anything that you wanted to ask us.
I'm okay, ladies. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, we appreciate you being here. So, if there are no further questions right now, we have also provided our contact information here for you. And, if you need to reach us, I'm sure you've already heard from one of us at least about getting registered or getting your team registered and setting up a coaching call. So after you've gotten your team set up, please make sure to schedule a time with us to just talk about your goals and ask us whatever questions you have so we can help you get on the right track. But we thank you all again for participating in our webinar, and we hope this has given you some more insight into being a team captain and getting ready for the day of the walk. So we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. I wonder if